Welcome back to the Chicago Lead. CHSN and the White Sox are back on WCIU, the U, and so is Friday Night All Access. Stick around later tonight for a special All Access broadcast as the Sox host the Guardians. Pre-game coverage with Sox Countdown Live starts right here at 6 p.m. on CHSN and WCIU, the U.
All right, it's time to raise the temperature over at the studio desk right now because 𝗏𝗏, David Hall, Brooke Fletcher, and the one and only Sean Evans of the hit YouTube show Hot Ones joins us on the Chicago Lead. Sean, we appreciate the time. I love the jersey that you're rocking, especially with Friday night with the White Sox and, of course, rocking that thing appropriately, man. But you're a Chicago native, so I know it has to feel great to be back in the city and Chicago area. You grew up on the north side, went to Crystal Lake High School. So for you, how did the White Sox connection happen? I need the origin story of that.
I think you are whatever your dad is. So my dad was a White Sox fan. Some of my earliest core memories are coming to the ballpark. I actually remember the first game I ever went to, 𝗏𝗏 Park, I think April of 1990. It was a game, it was in the old 𝗏𝗏 Park, and the White Sox lost to the Yankees while throwing a no-hitter. So that was the first game that I ever went to in my life. And then it's just been a thing that I like to go every couple, a couple times this summer. Even now living in New York, I come back. So this is always like a lovely full circle moment. Got friends and family coming in. It's awesome.
A favorite player growing up on the White Sox?
Yeah, favorite all-time player, obviously Frank Thomas. But along the line, if you want me to do a Mount Rushmore real quick off the top of my head, I could do Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko, Bobby Jenks, and I will go with 𝗏𝗏. I used to love the way that 𝗏𝗏.
𝗏𝗏, yeah, he's very good on TV too.
He is a handsome man.
Handsome man.
Yeah,
he's a handsome man.
Made for broadcast.
You maybe want to have him on the show. So the idea is the hotter the sauce, the more people reveal, correct? That's kind of the whole thing?
It's kind of just like a disruptive element in the interview. So as you guys know, as broadcasters, a lot of times people will come on a show, they'll be in like kind of a PR-driven flight pattern. So all we thought about was like, well, what can we do to disrupt that? And the best dumb idea ever was like, well, what if they ate increasingly spicy chicken wings? And here we are like 10, 11 years later, and I'm still doing it.
Well, we don't have any great ideas to distract you, so play along here. So, list of Sox fans here. Who would you like to have on an episode of Hot Ones? 𝗬💍 Guillen.
No, he'd be a great episode.
Hawk Harrelson.
Awesome.
Frank Thomas. Pope Leo. Barack Obama.
I mean, that is kind of an embarrassment of riches right there. But I would have to go with, I think, Hawk Harrelson, actually. Like, out of the names on the list.
I didn't expect that.
I think it would be Hawk Harrelson, which I know is a wild card, but such an amazing broadcaster because it was a natural expression of who he was as a person. It's not like he was trying to be this commentary guy and put on and speak to the microphone and like put on some sort of persona. It was exactly Hawk, so it's like you wouldn't even need the wings to break him down because he's already so himself.
Yeah, also in having the show on YouTube, it would help if 𝗬𝗏 is on the show because 𝗬𝗏 would say some things
and you can let it fly. Yeah, no FCC.
Right, exactly.
We're in the clear.
Free reign.
Yeah, you're right. 𝗬𝗏 after hours.
But what about Pope Leo? How would you approach that interview if you had Pope Leo on Hot Ones and as the heat rises and we see a different side of maybe Pope Leo? I don't know if he can reveal it, but
it would be amazing. And the other thing that I think about, even with like Barack Obama, is like I wonder how we'd have to change even like doing the wings. Like does Secret Service come in and then they taste test it first, or how does that work? I'm sure it's even on another level with the Pope. So logistically figuring that out would be one thing, but obviously it'd be amazing to have him in the seat.
Well, one thing I love about, obviously the entertainment factor of eating the hot wings, but the questions that you ask are very, very good. So give you props there. But you actually study journalism at U of I.
Yeah.
You were a guide on the architecture tour, which I feel like that's awesome. First off, how was that experience?
It was amazing. My second favorite job ever of all time. And sometimes I fantasize about like when this is all over, maybe I go back to it.
Nice.
Like once you get the tour down, it's like a song you can never get out of your head. So it's like a good safety net.
How do you feel like that better prepared you for this adventure?
I actually think more so than even my broadcast journalism degree. It was like the most formative and important thing because I'd be doing, 4 or 5 tours a day, 90-minute tours, and then you're talking to an audience and oftentimes looking out at a boat full of 150, 200 people. So in that you can see like, oh, where's the tour popping? Like, where are people excited? When are they busting out their phone to take pictures? When are people bored? How can I take that boredom spot, crank up the knob on that and make that more interesting? How can I stretch out the moments that people people love. And I think that's all about, you know, a lot of that skill set is the same as hosting a show. So I think doing that for as many summers as I did was probably as formative in anything, and bringing me where I am today.
Is this all inspired by a wing spot in Crystal Lake? Is there somewhere in Chicago is your favorite? What?
No, you know what? I honestly was never that much of a wing guy, and really not that much of a hot sauce guy. It just became like a cross that I bear now. But yeah, no, really it was just inspired by like, how can we make a funny, interesting interview show? And that was
What is your favorite wing spot in Chicago?
You know what? Maybe like Tunes in Lincoln Park I used to go to every once in a while. But I'm out of the game. You know, I've eaten over the course of just doing this show like 3,500 chicken wings, like just on the internet. I love the chicken wing. It changed my life. But like when this is all said and done, like I'm never eating another chicken wing again.
So when you're out and, you know, maybe people say, oh, let's get some wings or something.
Yeah, I'll be like, what about some loaded tots? Or is there another appetizer that speaks to you? Yeah. I try to push people in a different direction.
I'll definitely hear that, man.
We have Connor. You're going to be doing a segment with him
I'm
in
excited
game
to
here.
see Connor.
Okay, so you got to go easy on him, or what's the process?
You know what is funny about Connor? I go so far back with Connor. When I graduated college, we actually played on the same softball team in Lincoln Park for like 4 straight summers. So I've known Connor for years and years, back when he was an intern at 670
How's his
The
softball
Score.
game? It's okay.
He's a good player. He's not as good as me, but he's a good player. So this does feel like a full circle moment. I'm like so pumped to see Connor. It's surreal. Actually.
How hot will the sauce be? That
Yeah.
I mean, don't take it light on him, Sean. Come on now.
All right, I think we brought in a 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗃 𝗬𝗂. I think we brought in like number 6. So not nothing easy, not a free throw, but I think he'll survive it.
What's the most
Hopefully
memorable
he can get
interview?
through the game.
You know, there's a bunch that come immediately to mind, but I would say I'll never forget for the rest of my life the Conan O'Brien interview where he's just chugging out of the hot sauce bottles and putting wing bones in his pocket and bringing out Dr. Arroyo to check his vitals. Like, that is a very memorable, impossible to forget moment.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys
Have
so
fun
much
tonight.
for having me. I will.
Brooke, have a great game tonight.
Go White Sox.
Thanks for
guys.
being here.